Run it up, then run it back. 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 Yeah.
Good day. Happy Monday. Welcome to the post All-Star edition. We will react to all things All-Star in this 1 hour here. It's Run It Back. We got Lou, Will, Chandler, Boogie, me. We're going to get Boogie basically ran media over All-Star weekend, which is awesome. And so we're going to get to, he really did. We're going to get to all of that here in a bit. But whoa, earthquake at Lou's house. Okay, we got the game itself. We're going to let him get fixed up while we play some highlights here because honestly, kind of dug it. I'm not going to lie. It was the world. It was the U.S. two-time American teams here. And the U.S. Stars beat the U.S. Stripes. That was the 47-21. Look, you can't win them all. 3 out of 4 ain't bad. But Anthony Edwards was named the MVP. He finishes with 32, 9, and 3 in the 3 games he played. Maxey had 9. Donovan Mitchell had 6 points in that championship game. And we're going to start with sort of the beginning here, Chandler, because after the first game, and it was fun, Ant said that Wemby set the tone from the get-go, and I would agree, having watched it myself. Do you think that Wemby has started sort of to change maybe the vibes of All-Star games?
Well, I definitely think that he took it serious. You could tell that first play of the game, right? He ducks in or he seals Cade Cunningham and just does one of the craziest dunks I've ever seen, just not even looking at the rim. And that definitely kind of set the tempo. And like a situation like this, I feel like it takes some time, guys kind of getting their feet wet, kind of seeing who's going to play hard, who's going to do what. And that was the first 3 seconds of the game. So that kind of opened up the door and everything. So I do think you expected it to be coming, right? Like he said he was going to take it seriously. Maybe he stayed up an extra hour at All-Star Weekend. But I do think more guys like him that will at least have some pride, have some respect for the game and play as hard as he did will bring the best out of everybody else. Now, still, again, is it going to be the most competitive pickup game in the world? No. These guys are thinking big picture. They're thinking championship run. They're halfway through the season, and they do not want to get hurt and kind of cost that run in a pointless All-Star game. But it is fun to see plays like that. It is fun to see, down the stretch, guys trying to go at one another, guys actually trying to clamp, get in passing lanes, and making it more real game-like. But Wemby definitely set the tone early, and we got to continue to see more of that for this game to have any sort of chance.
Lou, you were there, right? Like, what'd you think? Did it feel like, oh no, they're caring?
Yeah, it was a great vibe, great atmosphere. I want to get a guys credit. We've criticized All-Star Weekend at different events. Down from the 3-point contest, dunk contest, All-Star games in the past. Yesterday was a great experience. It was a great experience. I enjoyed the fact that a couple of weeks ago, Wemby did set the tone and said, I was going to go out and take this thing seriously. Unfortunately, he was probably the only guy on the world team that probably felt that way. Other than that, it was the guys from the USA, either the Stars or the Stripes teams that went out and really competed and set the tone early. I love it. And, Ant-Man gave Wemby credit, but I thought it was Ant. Ant was the one guy that was out there talking trash, challenging everybody, pushing the pace in the open court, and just kind of creating a tempo to where the fans could appreciate watching one of the best pickup games in the world. And so it was an amazing experience. I was able to take my son, and he watched, and he was entertained, and I was entertained as well. And that's all we ask these guys, with these 10-minute quarters. That's all we were asking. Let's play hard for 10 minutes at a time, and we can get in and out of here with a solid product. And that's what they delivered yesterday. It was a great experience.
I agree.
But yeah, I saw defense yesterday.
I agree with Lou in the fact that he brought up Ant Edwards. I also agree that I felt he was a guy that brought a lot of energy, not only to the game, but to just the weekend in general. His presence, his charisma, just the personality, any room he walks in, automatically that good, positive, fun energy is coming right behind it. And also at the same time, it's a killer on the other end of that energy as far as how he approaches the game and how he looks at the greats and how he just wants to compete against anybody that's considered just as good as him. I love the approach. I love the attitude. So I think as much as Wemby has spoke on it and also went out there and did his thing as well. So I'm not taking that away from him. And Edwards deserves a lot of credit as well because he also, approached the game in the right way. But on another note for me, I've kind of been sitting back thinking about this whole situation as far as, these All-Star weekends and how they're being viewed and things of that nature. And I don't know if I can necessarily think I can agree with the narrative as far as, All-Star hasn't been quite as successful or as, as fun in the past because of necessarily the play or the players. And I think that's taken away, the accountability and the responsibility of who actually is holding these weekends, which is these organizations, the NBA and people of that nature. So I think it's easy to blame the players, but, it took me hearing some players speak about it, hearing certain quotes, and actually just going back to look myself. And that person I'm talking about is Kevin Durant, how he spoke on. I looked at the past All-Star games, and, they look very, very similar. So with those things being said, I had to sit back and think, like, is it necessarily the players' fault? And I do love how they took, initiative as far as we're going to do our part. We're going to go out here and put on a great show for the fans. We're going to make it as competitive as possible. And they did exactly that.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the game was incredible, but the weekend, the energy, just everything around it was really bland and low. And you can't blame the players for that.
You know what it was though, Boogie? It's just what you said earlier in your statement. It was just accountability, right? Like the weekend, we can't blame the weekend on the guys, right? But when it came down to the actual All-Star game, all we wanted them to do was just play hard for a quarter, right? That was it. That's all we were asking for. And yesterday we got that. So instead of harping on like what was the past, we got to keep the main thing the main thing. The main thing was the All-Star game. So now we got something that we can build off of. Look, young fellas, we had a lot of young energy with the new All-Stars. We had a lot of competitive energy. Now we can bottle this up. That was all we was asking. If anybody get on TV today and complain about the actual All-Star game, they tripping. Right. Because we got a good product. We got a great product from it yesterday. We got competitive. We got buzzer beaters. We had it all. You know what I mean? And so I'm agreeing with Boogie. Like the players take the brunt of the blame for things that are outside of their control and outside of their reach. But I like the fact that they took back the control of what they could control, which was their energy and their effort and entertaining fans. Like I want to highlight something else with me being in the building yesterday that I really enjoyed seeing. I was about 5 rows back from the USA bench, and the guys that weren't in the game, down to Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Tyrese Maxey, Ant Edwards. Every single person, Donovan Mitchell especially, all of these guys, when they weren't active in the game, they were interacting with young fans and the kids that were around them, taking pictures. Steph Curry went in the crowd and was taking pictures with fans and family and friends and people. And that's what I enjoyed about it. I enjoyed the fact that it looked like they wanted to be there. They were involved. They were active. They were a part of it. And they put the effort in to make it an entertaining weekend for NBA fans, and especially the young kids and the young NBA fans. So I enjoyed that part of it as well, man.
I'll tell you this, too. Like, for as long as I can remember, the Saturday was better than Sunday, right? Like, I look forward to the
100.
This year.
We still got some work to do for Saturday. But we're
going to get to Saturday. We'll get there.
Saying,
a lot of work for
Don't worry.
At least we had somewhat of a competitive game on Sunday, and I enjoyed Sunday way more than Saturday. So at least that flipped a little bit, and the game was better than the contest.
Right.
Because it's literally 4 12-minute games, and it's what Lou has been saying the whole time. Look, just play one quarter. That's all we're asking. And who doesn't try for a quarter
and
now?
It's the guys you want to see.
I'm disappointed as a Team World representative. Luka, fine, you got a little bit of an injury. Jokic, I'm a little disappointed in. You're still my second favorite player in the league, but it would have been nice to have him out there. It would have been awesome if SGA had been healthy. We'll get you guys next year. Can we talk about Kawhi? Can we talk about Kawhi Leonard for 1 second?
Kawhi wanted that MVP. Kawhi wanted that MVP in his own building.
Not even playing around. That was insanity, him in that game, in his building, him not being named, like Silver adding him to the roster of All-Stars. All of this to make up the fact that he had 31 of his team's 48 points is crazy. Lou, you were there. It looked amazing on TV. Like, I'm on my couch with my mouth open in shock. What was it like watching him live and in person?
It was a great vibe, and he had some home cooking with the Clippers fans, with the wall being up and them being the majority of the fans. Every time he touched the basketball, he got MVP chants, and he got off to a slow start, but you could tell he was being aggressive. He was really going for it. He missed a couple of little bunnies around the rim, and then it just clicked in. He saw one go, and then he turned into an entertainer. And it was great to see some parts of Kawhi's game that you don't usually see. Like, there was some razzle and dazzle. He was having some fun. He was laughing and joking with guys. Again, it was obvious that a lot of these guys wanted to be there and they wanted to be participants in this. And that's what made it fun. Can you imagine if those guys were out there still face, not having a good time, lollygagging up and down the court? No, I think the NBA and the guys, I think everybody took ownership of, hey, listen, this event is going to be what we make it. And everybody showed up, and Kawhi being in his home building, he was trying to go for that MVP, but Edwards was just too strong for him.
Yeah, and what's crazy to me is when you think of all these exciting players, right? I don't think of Kawhi Leonard. He's more methodical, textbook, get to a spot. And when I look back at some of the best all-star games in history, this was the best quarter. Like, this was outrageous. He went on a real heater. Like, if his other two games, I think he had 5 points and 1 point or something. Obviously, Ant was unbelievable, and he was the most consistent. Anthony Edwards, like Boogie said earlier, he is perfect for All-Star Weekend, from his personality to his media to the way he plays and can defend and then still give you showtime on the fast break. Like, he is the ideal All-Star Weekend, and he's most deserving of the MVP. But this quarter in his home building as a replacement was unbelievable. And I'm just happy for Kawhi Leonard, everything he's went through injury-wise. The fact that he was able to put on a show in LA for the Clippers and for that new arena, that was awesome. And again, when you look at all the stats of the full game All-Star games, this in one quarter might be the most impressive.
I agree, CP.
Go ahead, Boogie.
Kawhi came out, put on the show for the home fans. I think he felt that hometown love, just being able to represent everything that he comes from in that one place in one weekend. I think that was an awesome moment for him. I agree with Lou as well. I definitely think he was trying to go get MVP, and he made a real case for himself that night. Obviously, things didn't, play out to where he could accomplish that goal, but for one, he's definitely put one of the greatest quarters of an All-Star game. He laid that out that night. So I don't think we'll ever see a performance like that in one quarter of basketball again. So he made a name for himself in the history books with this performance. But like I said, it wasn't a storybook ending, but he definitely made a name for himself this weekend, represented the Clippers well, represented LA well, and I'm sure everybody from himself to family to the organization are happy with what he brought to the weekend.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about? Go ahead.
Can I highlight one more thing?
Of course.
Because I want to make sure that we give the league their flowers for this being a successful Sunday game. We complained about this early start, but that might have been the thing that saved this game. That might have been the thing that got these guys going. Like, if we'd have got a 7 p.m. start and all the sponsorships and signing autographs and taking pictures for the entirety of the day, and then you're trying to get a quality basketball game out of these guys at 7 p.m. at night at the end of the day, I think we would have had a different outcome of how this game went. But because it was an early start and because it wasn't a lot of time to do a lot of the fluff that's around the game, a lot of those guys, they showed up, they went out and warmed up like a regular basketball game and went out and were able to compete. I think that had a lot to do with the results of how successful this game were. Like I said, these guys were engaged. They were happy to be there, and they were active. And I think a lot of that had to do with that early start. So as fans, we hated it. We hated that it was an early start because we're used to those primetime hours. But that might have been the one thing that saved this game. So kudos to the league. I know this probably wasn't the goal for them to start this early because obviously they were competing with other things. But that may be something to look into. The early start might be a blessing in disguise moving forward.
Look at you bailing out NBC. I was about to go on a rant. I still go on my rant, but I can still do it. Let me ask you this. I think it's funny that Kawhi afterwards, it's just classic Kawhi sound bites because he's like, yeah, I didn't really understand the format. I didn't even understand it coming into the building. And it was just, and he was one of the guys that was sort of, actually, he's the only one I've heard so far that sort of really liked East versus West full game. But given what we watched yesterday, and I'll start with you, Lou, like the championship game was a dud. That's fine. But 3 out of 4 were actually really, really compelling, fun, good television. What kind of grade are you giving it? What'd you see?
You know what? I'm giving it an A-. I'm giving it an A-, and yeah, simply because we got what we wanted. 3 out of the 4 installments were pretty good. And the last one, they just got dubbed. The young guys just went out there and dubbed them. That's part of basketball too. You know, it wasn't like they weren't competing. It looked like they ran out of gas, and the young guys, they still had it. They still had it for them, and they went out and handled business. That's what I saw. I would like the traditional East versus West format. I think we all would. But again, if we're going to go back to a 48-minute format, straight up and down, 3 or 4 of those minutes out of every quarter, you guys have set a standard now. We know that it's possible, and it's something that these guys can go out and do. And so I wouldn't mind going back to the OG format, but I like what I got yesterday as well. I was a critic of it, but I like how it looked. I like how it felt. And so hopefully, you know, this is something that the league figures out where we can find middle ground in whether it's going to be this OG setting or whether it's going to be USA versus the world, or if they find another way to split up the teams, who knows? But yesterday, these 4 games, it worked. It worked.
I think eventually you do go back to the East versus West, right? But this is just Adam Silver. This is just the league kind of challenging guys on competing. And you got to give him credit too, from the in-season tournament to this guy is so open to trying new things to make this weekend better. And I truly think this weekend is just now turned into fans and kids getting to meet their idols and interact with them. And it'll always be more about that than the game. But if we can get back to East versus West and we can make it more competitive like this format proved to be, and I think the generation guys start getting in their first, second, third All-Star games, like the Jalen Johnsons of the world, like the Jamal Murrays of the world, those guys are going to play hard. So I think it depends on who is in the game, obviously, and where their team is in the middle of the season is always going to be a threat too, with obviously the odds of getting injured and the thought about that. But I'd like to see them go back to East versus West, the jerseys, that's the most fair. Like to me, that is the best format, but they got to play like they did.
I don't know. You go back to a full game, it loses the urgency that we had yesterday.
Not if it's competitive, though.
But that's fool me once, Chandler. Fool me once.
I think, if we go back to 48 minutes, I think we lose something, because I just think naturally, guys, at first quarter, like, I got 3 more quarters to cruise until we get there. With this format, you got 10 minutes to either move on or you don't. You know what I mean? That's
I
it.
loved it.
And so I hated the format because I think we hate things that we don't quite understand at first, but seeing it play out yesterday and getting a really good quality 2.5 hours worth of basketball, I can't complain. You know, I will like Chandler just said, eventually I think you build some momentum. You put together 3 or 4 good years of guys actually competing, and then you think about going back to that OG format. But right now, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You got some good bones right now. Let's see what you can build off of with this one. So, you know.
I like that.
I look forward to, them switching back to the old format. One is just, it's a tradition. A lot of us grew up on it. It's something we've always looked forward to. You've always, as a player in this league, you look forward to representing your conference in these type of games. So I'm big on tradition. That's what I grew up watching. That's what I grew up celebrating. So to say I'm a fan of this, I'm not necessarily a fan of this new format. Was it successful? It was in the moment. But it's also kind of, I feel like long term, if this was to stay the way it is, I feel like it would be an up and down situation, because how do we know 10 years from now, we'll even have enough Euros to fill a world team? You know what I mean?
Shoot.
Maybe. I don't know. We don't know that.
We're making more, Boogie. We're making more as the face
they're
of
tinkering with
world
other things. We can do young versus old, like we saw that.
And I'm cool with that. And the point I was trying to make is, I understand it's looking for, any angle or way of, getting those competitive juices flowing. So the Euro versus the world, old versus young, I understand it. But like I said, long term, I just don't know if that's a successful format because we don't know what's being produced. Like, yeah, it's a great thing right now, but we don't know what's being produced down the line. So I could see, just from that point of view, I could see it going back to the old format.
I'll say this.
I don't want the young guys that are young now to like get jaded and then, year 6 of this be like what we've been seeing. Like, whatever, we don't care. It's all-star. That's my fear, is that everyone's going to get too cool for school and we're never going to get it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think
What's the number one pick from Atlanta?
Is that kid?
Sachet?
Like I said, we don't know what they're producing down the line.
How dare you? How dare you? Wemby is the perfect hybrid of everything.
Chill out, Boogie. This ain't that.
We don't know what's being produced down the line. That's all
I know what's
tell you
being
this,
produced. I got my eyes and ears out there.
Listen,
Go ahead, Chandler.
NBA is such a global game, and it has expanded where I think the world versus USA, I think it's awesome. With the Olympics right around the corner, it kind of gives that extra little juice that like America versus everybody. And this weekend kind of had a little taste of that. If I watch this weekend and the best 5, 6 top 10 players in the world are in the NBA are not from America, I wouldn't know that by watching the effort of the world guys this weekend, though. If I was just a normal fan watching this, I would have no idea that Jokic is the top player. I would have no idea that Luka Doncic is the best player by watching that format and that game. So they didn't care more so than the American guys too. So
Agreed.
I just wanted to make sure we're clear on that the USA guys, Kevin Durant even said it too. Those guys, they did. Either. Like he did. So it goes both ways.
But if SGA and Giannis were not in street clothes, this would have been a different situation.
Beadle, and if was a fifth, we'd be drunk. But they wasn't.
I'm defending it to the death.
But hey, you know what? You know what I will say though? All we asked for as fans was 12 minutes of playing hard basketball. Instead of that, we got 35. Depending on how you look at it, we got 30 to 35 minutes of hard playing basketball. So I'm not fighting.
It was an upgrade for sure. Sunday was better
100.
this week.
Yeah. And shout out to the Clippers organization. My son walked in there with a LeBron James Lakers jersey on, and all of my people at the Los Angeles Clippers were not having it. He got sent 3 different jerseys from 3 different people, even a custom jersey with his name on the back to make sure he didn't wear a Lakers jersey into the Intuit Dome. So shout out to the good people over at the Clippers for making sure my son was comfortable, accommodated, and flipping him into a Clippers fan.
First of all, shout out to your son who figured that out.
He got hard.
And was like, watch this game.
What a hustler, too, getting 4 new jerseys out of the deal.
Exactly. He's the smart one. We're going to do more All-Star stuff on the other side.
Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back.
So let's talk a little Saturday. We start with the good 3-point contest. I think we agree that one's always fun to watch. Dame Lillard, been out a year, wins this bad boy, which I'm just shocked by. For the 3rd time, joins Larry Bird, Craig Hodges, the only guys to win it 3 times. The fact that he won this thing on a recovering Achilles, Lou, and you could see the joy in everyone's faces. Maybe not so much Book, but what did you think? Like that was crazy to watch him do that. Everyone seemed so excited for him.
I thought it was amazing for Damian Lillard. If I'm anybody else in that 3-point contest, I'm pissed. Like,
oh, that's up.
Like, what? So you had played 1 game. You ain't played a single minute this season, and you walk out here and you just whoop us like that? I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that for the. And how does he even qualify? If I'm the other guys, I am protesting.
Defending.
How did you even qualify? Okay, he's defending champion, so that's an automatic qualification. Okay, good. But listen, this is turned into Dame's event. So, we haven't seen him play in games, but it was good to see him out there in uniform. That was our first time seeing him back in the black, red, and white for the Portland Trail Blazers, where he's going to go down as a Hall of Famer and get his jersey retired and be immortalized out there. So it was great to see him shoot the basketball. But if I'm any of these other guys, I am absolutely pissed that he went out there and did what he did. But listen, for all guys that's recovering from major injuries, we all know that's the only thing that you can do is shoot. And then once you start adding some mobility back into it, you just shooting and you're going to the next spot. So he's This was literally a drill that he could have did in his sleep yesterday, because that's all he's been doing for the past 6 to 7 months of his recovery. So it was good to see him out there. But everybody else, shame on y'all. Shame on y'all.
Shame on you.
This was the ultimate flex from Dame. He went out. I mean, it's no other way of putting it. To be the wounded warrior and just come out and dominate the way he did. Obviously, like Lou said, this is his weekend. This is his event, and I think he wears that on his chest proudly. So to come out and do it in that fashion, I think it was the ultimate flex. This is a great moment for him. This is something to also look forward to, and I think also was a statement from him as far as what to expect coming in the next season. Basically, don't put doubt on his name. He will come back to being, a high-level player in this league, and possibly even putting Portland in a position to be very, very successful as a team. So I liked everything that I saw from Dame during the weekend. Like I said, I think it was the ultimate flex. I think it was a great moment for him, and also building momentum into his return, if it's later this season or next season. So I think it was a plus for the weekend for himself and the Portland organization.
Yeah, with no game reps. And all these other guys got 40 games under their belt.
Come on, man.
And he just comes in. And by the way, it's not getting twisted. Devin Booker had like 3 or 4 shots there at the end to make one to win this thing. So know he's sick just because one of those just had to go down. I think this was the most entertaining, best event of Saturday night, and it wasn't even close. Again, because I think at least we saw star guys. We saw guys that do what they do best competing, and you see the rookie Khan kind of explode in the first round with the big round. Then this kind of back and forth where Devin had to get a certain number to Dame, and the dramatics of missing the last 3. This was really, really fun. We're seeing the greatest shooters in our game compete, and the guys that had great seasons thus far compete in a contest. So I was actually pretty entertained while watching this. And again, like the guys just said, shout out Dame to have this as just some experience there, just some competition for a guy that hasn't played all year long was awesome to see, and super impressive that he came and just won it. It was unreal.
He said, too, he was like, look, I've been shooting this whole time, but I've had no real competitive juices. And so this was really the draw, was like, I just wanted to feel competitive. And that showed, Boogie. For those of us who've not had this type of injury, I mean, he's 10 months into this thing. Were you able to do this? Is this something that, yes, at 10 months you are able to do? Maybe not win a 3-point contest on a global stage.
I wouldn't put that on my name. But, one thing about injury that doesn't really get highlighted, like if you're rehabbing properly, you come back from injury a better shooter if you're doing it the proper way. For the most part, when you're injured, especially lower body injuries, that the beginning of that return is just a lot of spot up shooting. It's a lot of shots, and that's your way of staying sane, just staying involved in the game. All of the things that you're kind of missing as far as being injured and being away. So shooting is probably the number one thing you improve on coming back from injury, and this was just a prime example of that. He's always been a great shooter, but to come out and do it in that fashion, it just goes to show that he's putting the work in, and he's also rehabbing the correct way. So to say if I could come out and do this, yeah, we're basically on the same path as far as, recovery, getting back to that point of return. But no way in hell I'm shooting the ball the way Damian Lillard shot the ball out of it.
It was fun. That was fun to watch. There was a slam dunk contest. Now, I'm going to start this by saying I could have
won the slam dunk contest.
Okay, yeah. See, I know exactly. Here we go.
Straight off injury. What I saw Jackson Hayes do, I can do that straight off injury.
That was considered the worst dunk in slam dunk history.
Come on.
I need double knee replacement right now. I swear to God, I could have done that first dunk. Now, I could have done it.
Let's get into it. Let's just get into it. Jackson Hayes had a bad first dunk. The internet blew up, said it was worst dunk in slam dunk history. You guys apparently agree, but he didn't win, so that's okay. So Keyshawn Johnson, Miami Heat beats Carter Bryant, San Antonio Spurs. Bryant, I blame Vince Carter for Bryant, if I'm being honest. He's out there yapping away, and the time's clicking down, and Bryant didn't even finish, really, what he was supposed to be doing out there. But let me ask y'all this, because I hate piling on it. It's not these guys' fault that nobody else wants to be in it, right? Like there's a sympathy I feel for the kids that decide to be in this contest every year because everyone is just yapping about, well, we don't even know who you are. So Lou, that being said, what will you remember of this dunk contest? And I'm just going to sit back like this.
Look,
Okay,
listen, again, All-Star Weekend is about the All-Stars and the stars of the game. You can't blame these young guys. You know, shout out to Carter Bryant, shout out to Keyshawn Johnson, and so on and so forth, and the rest of the guys, Jace Richardson. All of those guys, this is a dream come true for them to be able to be a part of this competition and be highlighted for their skills on All-Star Weekend. And so you don't want to criticize those guys. You know, shout out to them for having an opportunity to be in it. But the reality of it is this: the fans are paying to see people that they recognize and that they see do things in game that they would love to see in the dunk contest and even the 3-point contest. They want to see the stars of the game. Dame Lillard winning the 3-point contest, going head to head with Devin Booker. That's exciting for people to see until some of these young guys create that type of excitement around their names based on what they do during the regular season. Then you'll get your profile up and people will show up and you will be much watched, must see TV. Until then, there's still going to be some urgency for it to be events that are based around star players. So we have to figure out a way to get name brands and guys that we know and household names back into this event. That way it can get that pop and it can get the energy and the effort that it deserves from the fans. Until then, we're going to have a bunch of criticisms, and it was like, that was okay, but you know, these aren't necessarily the guys that we came to see. And so I don't want to make it a negative thing for them, because obviously Keyshawn Johnson is probably, he's probably somewhere still dancing his heart out right now and on vacation with a drink in his hand. He's probably still dancing. So I don't want to rain on his parade. I want him to enjoy his vacation.
Yes.
Turn it up. Turn it up. Yeah, look. So, like, look at this.
Goodness.
This is joy right here. So
it is joy.
That's a lot of joy. That's probably too much joy.
It's so much. No, it's so much joy. I love this joy.
Yeah, but the reality of it is this: if we want to get this event back to its prominence, we got to get the Jaylen Browns in it. We got to get the Jalen Johnsons in it. We got to get these.
Tried.
Yes, and listen, pioneer. And guess what? Years now, looking back at it, it did nothing to his legacy, guys. It did nothing to his legacy. Let's get back out there. Let's have some fun. Let's compete. Whether they're going to throw ones in it, whatever, that's another conversation. But we got to get our stars back into all of these events.
Yeah.
Simple.
It's very
simple. That's exactly what I think should be the next thing. At this point, when it comes to the dunk contest, there's nothing more that you can create or come up with that the human body can actually do. I think we've seen it all. I think we've seen the best. I mean, can they do it better than the person that did it the first time?
Gotta be something.
I know we're gonna talk about Matt McClung in a minute, but he did 4 I'd never seen again.
He did show
but
us.
He's also a name that nobody knows.
Well, now we know.
No, I'm saying
it doesn't really help.
By the way,
it doesn't really help.
I'm speaking to the fact that we still got some dunks out there. We still got a few left.
At the end of the day, I just don't think the dunk contest hits the way it used to back in the day. It was still a star-driven. It was a star-driven event. We don't have stars in the event anymore. No matter if they come up with. Whose
fault is that? You know whose fault that is? Ego.
It may be. But at the end of the day, you got to move on from it. I think we should take a page out of the women's game. Go look at Unrivaled, the way they play this one-on-one tournament.
You got to put the one
they bring the best out of each other. I think we should cancel the dunk contest and bring in the one-on-one tournament. I think
the ones will bring the house. The ones will bring the house down, and I'm with you on that, Boogie. Yeah.
And I think that's a fix to Saturday. This dunk contest, I don't think it's nothing more. To me, it's nothing more you can really see.
I think we get
unless one of the stars says I'll do
it. To the ones. I think we get a step closer with
I would
guys
rather
calling
see
each
ones
other
than the
out
dunk contest,
and chirping a little bit. I think we get it. I have an idea. I want to see 2 of our all-stars or superstars go into their local gym somewhere in the summertime and check up, make it a moment, and juice it up. That way some other guys can look at it and say, oh, okay, I'm in. I think that's something that we can get.
I know guys will be in.
Yeah.
I think guys are being just in the fact. I've been a part of Team USA. I went from the select team, which is considered JV, to the varsity Team USA. No matter how intense the practice is, no matter how light the practice, whatever the case may be, when those greats get in the same room, one-on-one happens by default. So I know it's not something guys will shy away from. There's plenty of footage of guys getting in that environment, and all you see is every guy playing one-on-one. So I know it's something that'll be successful. All the cameras come out every time it happens. So I know it'll be something successful for the weekend. I think it's something we have to start pushing. And it's just time to scrap this dunk contest because, like I
that makes
said,
me sad.
if the stars
It was
don't
real
want
bad.
to do it, it's not going to be a
not good.
success.
Yeah.
It was real bad. And again, I like you guys. I don't want to shit on these kids for trying because it's not their fault. And then it's kind of the situation where there's such high expectations, and it's pretty simple. Like you guys just it's all-star weekend, and now we have non-stars doing these events. And I don't care. I've seen dunkers on social media and these like street dunk contests that are great dunkers.
Going right past him.
I don't care because I don't know who they are. I'd rather see John Morant do it. I'd rather see Anthony. I'd rather see actual stars that I have their jerseys of competing in this. And again, it's not Kashad Johnson's fault, but like this was probably the worst dunk contest I've ever seen in my life.
Oh,
and again,
no.
it was so bad. It was
That
so
makes me
bad.
sad.
And again, it's not even the kids' fault. It's just there's the guys make too much money. They're not just guys that aren't in the game aren't just going to go there for the weekend for that one event. So like you got to be in the game to even do it. Like Jaylen Brown did it, and that didn't really pan out how I thought it was.
I don't care. I love him for doing it.
I tried to
forever.
tell
love him
Boogie. I
forever.
tried to tell Boogie we had too many bigs in the dunk contest. He didn't want to hear me. He didn't want to hear
Okay,
me out. I said,
that
"Hey,
Matt
too
McClung
many
thing
big
was
guys in the
cool.
dunk contest."
But
No,
then,
I don't know about this.
Lou, you said what? How did Dame Lillard qualify? Which I guess because he won it the year before. I don't even know if that's right. How did Mac McClung qualify? There's no qualifications anymore.
He was the reigning champion. That's how you qualify.
How did he
first
qualify
time.
the
How
first
did he
time?
get in the first time?
Well, you know,
no one else
first time-
wants to do
first
it,
time-
and he's got
Chandler,
tape.
first time we needed Matt McClung. Let's be very clear.
killed
we
it.
needed
Still
him.
do.
We still do,
And
actually.
we absolutely
Think about it.
still do.
This
No, we need to
Jackson,
scrap the event. We need to
this
scrap the
Jackson
dunk
hates.
contest.
This Jackson hates.
I'd like to
first
see
time.
the views on the 4 dunks that he did, how many views he got versus the
That
dunk
back,
contest.
his shoulder
By
on
the
that
way,
last dunk makes me hurt. I don't even
Jay
understand
Spencer
it.
said he almost cracked his head open for God's sake.
Yeah,
So
that wasn't
got
good.
hurt. Like,
We didn't want to show that because that was a
this
bad
was
moment. You know what
real bad.
It was real bad, but the kid in me is like sad because the dunk contest is what I grew up loving the most. But you know what else? We have celebrity games without celebrities in them. So I don't know why you're bitching and whining about all-star dunks without stars. But I want to shout out Shams, buddy.
Yeah, shout out. You stink.
For the record, I thought you were going to be bad, and so I'm sad that I was right. 0 points, 0 for 5, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 3 turnovers. I love you so much, man. But what the hell, dude? What happened? And he's on his phone, and he's getting roasted. Like
At
Chandler.
least Shams isn't one of these talking heads that makes fun of NBA players that are way more talented.
100%.
He just breaks news at least. But man, Shams, this was a piss poor outing.
Yeah, you know what? Shams was getting criticized. And we gotta listen. And Chandler said it, and he kind of breezed by it. But we gotta stick up for our guy Shams. Shams isn't creating news.
Not a hater.
Shams
100.
reports the news. He only reports on what y'all give him. That's it. He's not creating news. So people that's upset with Shams because he didn't play well, like, listen, it's just his job to make sure that we get the news. And we can't be mad at Shams for doing that. And then every time something happens, we run to his page. Like, do we love Shams or not? We got to figure out what side of the ball we're going to be like. Do we love Shams or not?
Like a
we
brother.
absolutely love him. But I saw some people that were super critical of Shams, like, oh, you always talking about basketball players and you can't even hoop. It's like, well, that's literally his job. So it's okay. Like, it's his job to report what's going on. It's not like he's going out and doing some investigative journalism where he's, digging up things. Now, Shams can ask a question or two about some things that's going on. He'll ask to be the first one with the scoop, but again, he's not creating news. He's just reporting.
He's not a hot take guy. He's an information guy. Those are two. So here's the thing. I'm not going to say names, but I'm going to tell y'all who are watching to go to the internet. Pick 2 or 3 of the most obnoxious, loud, trolling talking heads that are in this business. And then look up their athletic videos that exist.
Oh, yeah.
They are on there. That's who you're making fun of.
Yeah.
That's who you should make fun of.
Those are the guys we need to talk to. The guys that call people trash and bums and all of that, and them the ones we need to talk to.
That's exactly the next celebrity game. That's what we should do. We should have Brian. We should have a guy like Brian Windhorst in a 12X jersey out there showing us what type of athlete he is.
Boogie Cousins.
Winnie's cool. Hold on.
I love Wendy.
We're not going to
but we're also talking about a guy that has critiqued a lot of players, talked about performances and all of these things. So this is a chance to go show us how much of an athlete you are. Stephen
I saw a dude run. I saw a highly paid dude run.
And I got a lot of love. I got a lot of love. But hey, let's get these guys in jerseys. And let's see what type of athletes you are. That would be much-watched TV. I would love
one night a year, Boogie, we get to criticize them.
Yes, and I'll sit courtside with my book, with my little journal, and I jot down notes of everything I think you need to work on, everything that you didn't do, your legacy as a person, player, a father, a brother. I'm gonna do everything y'all do to us.
That shame of Boogie.
Why? No, by the way, Wendy's not the guy I was talking about. That is not the guy.
Cool.
There are some real jerks.
Wendy's cool. Wendy's cool people.
For reals.
I'm not even just calling him out. I'm talking about all these talking heads that have never suited up. Let's get them in jerseys. Let's put a list together. I want to put them in a jersey, and I want to see what type of athletes they are.
By the way, you guys, do you know what's happening in the control room right now? I can promise you this. They're taking bets on whether or not one of us is going to say these actual names out loud. They're just sitting there like, she's going to say it. She's going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Y'all know. By the way, the Giannis Shams, and I'll say this, Shams also had video out there. We saw his form. Like, he looked like he was going to be able to do this. It wasn't like embarrassing. He didn't embarrass him. I'm just bummed it didn't come through. Sometimes it's hard. The difference between playing around in a gym by yourself and actually doing it in front of people, very different. Giannis, though, before the game, had his scouting report for Shams.
Who can play? Giannis, who did your team, bro? Your team is not fair. I've looked at the rosters. I know the rosters. Your team is not fair.
You know why it's not fair?
Why?
Because we have Shams on my team. He cannot hoop. But
we know that much.
Everybody else can hoop.
Everybody else can hoop.
So in the off-season, we got them as free agents.
I got free agent?
There you go.
Okay.
There's a breaking story. Thank you for the breaking story.
Yeah.
Shams loves Boogie. Boogie loves Shams. What? That's a tough way to go into a game, Chandler.
Yeah, you hate to hear the head ball coach talk about you like that before you go and put goose eggs across the board, too.
Damn it.
Man, this is, again, Shams is great at his job. He does it first. This was a bad performance, my boy.
Wasn't it? You know what? He'll redeem himself. Next year, the redemption
tour.
We
didn't say one word about Rome Flynn. Shout out to the back-to-back MVP.
That's fair. Yeah, you probably should probably do that.
Right.
Yeah, I had so many opinions on that.
It was Taco Falls, but I get it. You're not going to give it to an ex-pro. I get it.
You can't give it to an 8-foot dude. That's not fair. Coming up, Boogie's big day as a journalist. We come back.
Run it back, run it up, run it back. Run it up, the run it back, run it up.
I got a hypothetical for you. What's up, my brother? If you could win MVP every year, or have all of your horses win their race every year.
All the horses. I already had 3, so I'm.
Well, if all 3 horses can win every year, which route you going with?
All 3 horses winning race, brother.
I knew that.
Thank you.
Would you ever be the guy to pay those fines for Isaiah Stewart?
It's costly, but he's the man, though. I wouldn't trade him for the world. He's the best teammate you could ask for, so yeah, I'll help him out a little bit.
If you could give up one thing for the rest of your life, Twitter or video games, which one would it be?
I'm gonna go Twitter, because they don't deserve to hear this God level like talk I'm giving to them. They take it for granted, cuz.
Do you think scoring 100 points in a game is reachable for you?
scored 73, and it was a lot. It felt like every shot went in, and 100 it's just too much.
Which NBA All-Star would you not let date your sister?
I'm gonna go with Jaylen Brown. Yeah. I'm gonna go with JB. Jacob, he from the city. He can't date my sister.
You come from a boxing background. I've had a chance to train with your father, son.
For real?
Absolutely. Yeah. He trained plenty of times. In the league in general, do you think they can cross over into that field of boxing?
I think it's maybe a couple guys.
Anybody come to mind?
Anybody come to mind? You know, we had some recent festivities.
Any Pistons come to mind?
So it's some guys I think who could give that might deserve a tryout at the very least. You know what I mean? But to be honest, I've toyed with this. I've talked to some people. You know, maybe postpartum of my career, I would love to partake in something like UFC or even boxing.
Run it back, run it up, run it back, run it back, run it up, 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 then run it back, run it up, then run it back.
Shout out the crew. Good to see J.A. there, Boogie. By the way,
hold it down, Boogie. That was fire.
Appreciate y'all, boy.
Amazing.
Did you love it? Did you love it? What was your favorite?
Man, I had an incredible time. This was a special moment for me. Just, being at this point in my life as far as making that transition, going into these new avenues in my life as far as media, doing these type of things. It was great for me. So, I appreciate the team for giving me a chance to do that. It was successful on, for us and on behalf of us at running back. So I enjoyed everything about it, and I look forward to doing it again.
You killed it.
Amazing.
Crushed it.
Killed it, man. And shout out, and shout out to us guys, because I was at the game. We are part of the ecosystem. I got a lot of compliments, and I got a lot of people, giving me some feedback on some of the things that we've discussed and talked about the show. So shout out to us. We're doing a great job. We are part of the
Pat on the back, fellas.
We are part of the ecosystem. We are there. People are watching. Our counterparts
and
are
I'll
watching.
say this, Boogie. Having been in those rooms, especially when I was real young at this, man, there was some jealousy at you in that room.
I get some looks in that room?
I know. And you earned that. Feel it. Love it. You're doing something right.
There's some people in that room that used to write hit pieces on me. So to see, it's a full circle moment for me. For us now to be, kind of shoulder to shoulder. I kind of steal the show from the veterans in this game.
You did.
It was a good feeling. It's a lot of happiness that comes from,
you showed the vets
situations.
what a little kindness and familiarity you do to them, man. Y'all chill out a little bit, and y'all might get that.
We're gonna take a really quick break.
It was cool to control the room like that, so I was happy.
And you did. All right, we'll be right back. We'll wrap it up.
Run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back.
Guys, I know your thoughts on All-Star Weekend, but why is Jaylen Brown the teammate you wouldn't want your sister to date? Is that a thing we've all thought about? Like, well, it seems like a nice gentleman.
He said just because they're from the same city. It's probably too close.
Okay. I think that's something. Overall grades for the weekend. Go quick. We got 10 seconds. Boogie.
B+.
Chandler.
C+.
Lou.
Based on what I experienced, give it an A-.
That ain't bad. By the way, Boogie's going to Mongolia. We'll be back Thursday. What a world.
Run it back, yeah.